Welcome to Spoiler Alert, where we talk about and spoil the shows you're obsessed with. This week, Retta rejoins us to dissect Scandal's mother of a bombshell.
What?
And also Good Wife's best episode ever and The Walking Dead's killer surprise.
Did you kill Karen and David?
Retta, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you back. Matt,
Thanks.
hello.
Hello.
So, Scandal. Fitz killed Olivia's mother. React.
Yes, on her dad's orders.
You're exactly where I left you. Standing in the shadows, pulling my strings.
Twisty.
I think he may have found out his wife was a spy.
We've all been told if you go up against B613 or whatever that, they'll take you down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she got wind of it and she was like, you know what, I don't want any part of this. I know you're a bad guy. And then he was like, well, we have to eliminate that threat.
And maybe he didn't do it? Is that possible at this point?
Who else has to die to protect a secret that no one on this planet is looking for?
I find it hard to believe that the president has murdered so many people. Last season it was Verna. This season it's...
Choked her out.
Right, exactly. This season it's a whole plane full of people, including Olivia's mother.
I feel like, though, it wouldn't have been such a big deal for him to set up that funeral if he hadn't. Or at least if he didn't believe that he did.
If he wasn't feeling some sort of guilt.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think he at least believes that he did that. I'm just curious as to whether I believe that the dad gave the order or if it wasn't because the mother was shady in some way.
How fascinating do you think that's your mother's legacy, being brave and outspoken?
She reveres her mother a little too much, and I feel like we've got to find out. Either they're going to knock her down a peg.
Here's what I've heard. There's an episode coming up, not necessarily the next one, but there's one coming up in the very soon future where it's been compared to like the Fitz kills Verna reveal. It's like that on steroids. It's like an episode where the table read, they had to stop it
I saw
multiple...
them all tweeting about this.
They had to stop the table read multiple times because it was that bananas.
Really?
It just turns everything upside down. What you thought was true is false. What you thought was false is true. Left
Mother's
is right.
going to be alive.
Yeah.
Mother's going to be alive.
Played by Felicia Rashad.
You won't let it go.
Save the predictions for later. You're still having issues with Melly's hair.
It's just crazy. It's so big. It's so thick.
Even in that little one-on-one she had with Olivia
I
at
hated
the
it. It was
correspondence dinner.
terrible.
I'm not even worried about all that. Anyone can fix that.
It was almost like, you know what, we're going to do it curly. And they're like, oh, you know what, they want us to put it up. So they just stuck pins in the back and put it up. That's what it looked like to me.
As someone who likes to imbibe, we posed a question on TV Line on Friday that asked whether Olivia might be a closeted alcoholic.
A little bit. I think she's a little stressed.
This past
And
episode where
so-
she downed that entire glass alone.
She does that a lot.
Yeah.
She does that a lot. And every time she finishes a glass of wine, I always say to myself, I feel you, sister. So I feel like she's stressed out. And, she tries to keep it together all day long. And then she goes home and she's like, boozy.
And you knew she'd be grabbing that phone out of the garbage can at some point.
It was a little cheesy that she was crawling, and she was on the floor and kind of ditzy a little bit when she was talking.
Hi.
That was well done.
Well, and someone who's values security so much and is so obsessed with it to throw your cell phone into the trash.
Come on.
Right, where it could ring later, the janitor picks it up, and then he's on the line with
with
the
your link
leader
to
of the free
POTUS.
world.
That was well done.
Moving on, The Good Wife. Is there a better show on television right now than The Good Wife?
That was a dynamite episode.
There's comparable shows, but that episode, for it not to have life and death consequences,
Right.
my heart was racing.
Get out of here, Alicia. Right now. You're fired.
I was literally, edge of my seat. I was laying in bed, but edge of my seat, laying in bed, like, holy crap.
No.
You don't want to push this.
When I was tweeting it, the first 11 minutes took me about 20, 25 minutes because I had to pause, I had to decide something, I had to decide what I was typing, make it fit into 140 characters. It was every sentence. I was like, oh my God, what? I remember thinking, this music is really good.
Yeah,
And,
the music was, it
'cause
would
a lot of
swell
times
and it would get faster and faster, and
a
that
lot of
made your
times
heart go fast.
Music will be on the nose, and I'll be like, oh, they're trying so hard to make this seem, like a big deal with the music. But I was really like, okay, I can't with the music. It's starting to stress me out. It was really working on me.
How long do you think until those two firms merge? Because I don't know
Come on.
Don't you think? I mean, can they really go for the rest of the show's run with 2 firms? That's
No, but
logistically difficult.
No, but we have to have a lot of fun with them separate for the while. So that's at least
No, I'm
a
saying
season.
maybe the end of the season.
I don't
Someone's
know.
going
I
to buy
feel
the
like-
other one out.
Yeah, and I feel like it's going to be the
Yes.
going to be the reverse.
Right,
I
which
feel
would be
like
fun.
the kids are going to take over the parents.
They're going to be the new Will and Diane, and
it's
Will and
gonna be
Diane are going to be the
deep.
new Alicia and Carrie.
This is how you and Diane started this
Don't
firm.
you dare compare.
What do we think about Kalinda kind of like selling them out and ratting on them?
That surprised me.
I was not happy with that.
That was a dark turn.
Can I trust you?
You can.
I thought she was going to tell Carrie, they're on to you,
Yeah.
so now I can't work with you. I'm on my business.
Right.
So I'm going to be with Will, and I'm going to do what I need to do because
Being
that is
upfront with him, at
Yeah,
least,
I
yeah.
thought she was going to be legit with it.
No.
And the fact that she was like, where?
Why'd you want me to bring them here?
155 Emerson.
Okay.
And as soon as he told her, I was like, what are you, new?
Was there anything else?
They have offices at 155 Emerson.
Oh, I know that building.
So dumb.
Yeah.
But it worked out in the end, clearly.
Moving on to another Sunday night obsession, The Walking Dead. Are you buying the Carol confession?
Did you kill Karen and David?
Because some people, our readers, are speculating that perhaps she's covering for one of
the
the
kid?
girls.
Yes.
I don't think those girls could do it. I think-
To drag the two bodies, it looked like the
Yeah.
bodies were dragged simultaneously. But
Yeah.
even to drag one of them,
and
these were
kill
grown
them.
people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was Carol. I think Carol's been through some stuff. She had the abusive husband. Her daughter was in that barn all season long.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were trying to set it up by having her teach the kids how to use guns in those classes, in the reading groups.
Where did all those zombies in the end come from?
Oh, I don't
That's
know.
sworn.
Did they account for that at all?
That sickness, whatever it is, that plague that's going around, I wonder if it's killing the people who are alive.
True.
Because all those people
All right.
came from
That area
little
where this
town with
plague's
the
going
governor.
on, where the bug is,
So, not everybody went to the prison. So I'm wondering if it started in the governor's camp and then people left and that's how it spread and then it just got bananas out there.
Well, here's my question from that sequence. So Tyrese, last you saw him, he was getting swarmed and mobbed by all the zombies. A few minutes later, he shows up, comes running towards you.
Behind
Before you welcome back into the gang, don't you kind of stop and say, hey, did you get bit? But no, they're like, he shows up and they're like, oh, come on with us.
Right.
But they do that all the time. And they, if they see somebody that survived something, they're like, how lucky are you? Thank God.
Right,
and
exactly.
then they
I was
die.
impressed he got it done with a hammer.
They wouldn't kill Glenn, would they?
After everything, I was just get taken out by a glorified cold.
No.
Because he's in rough
I know,
shape.
No.
that kind of,
I don't think they're gonna. I
I got a little bit stressed out about that.
I don't think they will.
That's like the closest, he's part of the closest thing we have to like a romance, love story
Right.
side of the
They're not
thing.
gonna get rid of that.
And that's like the little shimmer of hope amidst all this darkness. And I know with the blind item, people are worrying that it's gonna be Norman Reedus, that they're gonna kill off Daryl.
Wait, what's
He's
going
got a
on?
blind item that a major character on the show is gonna get killed off because he's got a new pilot lined up.
Yeah.
And people are worrying it's gonna be Daryl. People would revolt. People would show up with pitchforks.
This is my poker face.
Is that what it is?
What's going on in Parks and Rec? I loved the episode that Donna was like sort of bonding with Leslie.
Right. Let me take a picture.
Are you tweeting this?
Mike Shore told me a couple months ago that with Anne leaving, Rashida Jones leaving, Donna was going to sort of step up into more of a BFF role.
What's the hashtag gonna be? Boss bitch or bitch boss?
Yeah, it's Psycho Boss. We did have that little bond. I liked the way that Donna just simply said,
You really think I hate you after all we've been through the last 10 years?
even though we haven't seen it because the show's only been on 6 seasons, but we've been in this. So I think it kind of lets you know that it's possible that they could be friends, particularly because everybody knows that Anne and Traeger are leaving. So I don't know. I still don't know. I mean, we're getting ready to shoot the 13th episode.
Isn't that their last episode?
And I think that's their goodbye. We haven't read it yet, so I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I believe that's their goodbye.
Is it sort of sinking in on set?
I just had a conversation with Rashida the other day, and I was like, we'd been avoiding it. She's like, we have to talk, but we've been avoiding it. And I was like, oh my God, it's coming up. And she's like, I know. And so we were just like, all right, we'll talk about it later. So we did an interview in my trailer. We did it together, and we hadn't really talked about it. And the guy asked, so, how's it been on set? And she's like, it's been okay. And she started to get a little bit, she's like, yeah, so, yeah, it's coming. And totally, we ended the interview.
Really?
We just didn't finish it, yeah.
When they were showing Donna's tweets at the court thing, I was freeze framing it and reading them. Did you write those?
I did not write those.
Because they're all very True Bloody about,
Yeah.
you know.
All my number sign True Blood fans know what's up.
They basically
get
patterned
it
it
and-
after my obsessions with TV.
The only reason I'm even on Twitter is to blow off steam about work and tweet nasty stuff to dudes with washboard abs.
We're going to wrap up with some predictions.
Okay.
Matt, why don't you go first?
My prediction is that since S.H.I.E.L.D's numbers aren't exactly setting the house on fire, and since creatively people are feeling it's not really that electric, they're going to run out and get themselves a big bad villain for the second half of the season, and it's going to be played by whatever the best available Joss Whedon-verse alum is, like maybe a James Marsters type.
Interesting. Mine is that Fox is not going to pick up the X Factor for another season. Ratings have not been good.
No.
They haven't been good for a couple seasons now.
Yeah.
And each season there's a promise of, okay, this is the one where we finally got it together. I think Simon was saying that this is the season, everything is gelling, and the numbers just aren't there. Clip Show this week got like a 0.8 rating in the demo.
Halloween night, yeah.
Yes, granted, it was a Halloween night, but I just think, you know, Simon had his chance. It didn't work.
I don't know if this is so much a prediction as it is a hope, but I think NBC needs to let go of must-see TV and put comedies on a different night so we can get some better numbers. Because Big Bang and what's the other show? Killing our Thursday night. And I think it's silly to try to hold on to the early 90s. Let it go. Make a new night. Start a new trend. Talking to you, Greenblatt. Move it.
That was a shot across the bow.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm Haley Steinfeld, and you're watching ENTV. Hi, my name is Kieran Shipka, and you're watching ENTV.
Aubrey Plaza, ENTV. I just touched it with my mouth, sorry.